So today, our lesson, lecture 11, will start in the usual place, 25601. Um, your lecture start file under lecture 11 is called curtain walls. And when you open your file, and you instantly you go to a 3D view if you just click on it, and you'll see this is the file I provided you with. It's simply a box. It's got a stairwell in it, it's got an elevator in it for another exercise later, but what we have on either side is the base curtain wall 1 family, and that's what we're kind of going to work with today. I didn't put a foundation on here or anything like that. For what we're doing today, we don't need it. But first, we need to talk a little bit about what storefront curtain walls and window walls are. Just a little intro to that. If you go to, well, I'm going to put this link in the project folder so you can take a look at it if you want. This is a really good free industry journal too, Metal Architecture. It's an older article back from 2012, but it does a really good job describing storefront and curtain wall systems. And to understand storefronts, storefronts are basically exactly what they sound like. The glass and the metal fronts for stores that you typically see, or a business, or any kind of commercial application. And the way you know it's typically a storefront is, in a sense, it's embedded in another material. Maybe it's brick, maybe it's masonry, and it's usually no taller than 10 feet. Okay, that's a general rule for storefront, that you're not going greater than 10 feet. Now, I'm not going to read this whole piece that it has in here for that. I don't need to do that. Then it goes down to talk about curtain walls. And curtain walls are a little different. In curtain walls, you'll see them on buildings that are 30, 40, 50, 60 plus stories. And storefronts where they're embedded inside the wall, curtain walls typically hang from a floor above. And when I say hang from a floor above, structurally they're fixed to a floor above. Now, Revit doesn't make you play all those rules when you're drawing in Revit, but just understanding that system is good for you. And we'll talk about that a little more in building technology later on. Then the third type of window type wall system is exactly that, the window wall systems. And a good way to be able to identify a window wall, they'll be a little taller, 14, 20 feet plus, maybe more, but they span from the top of one floor slab to the underside of the slab above it. Okay, so that's the difference between a window wall and a curtain wall. So you'll hear those terms thrown around in architecture. I just kind of wanted to familiarize you a little bit with it. So I'll put that link in there for you to look at, plus maybe one or two more. So how do we draw a curtain wall? Well, let's go to the ground floor. And just so you can basically see this, before I get started, first things first, I want to go in and save as my project. And I'm just going to put my initials in here. I encourage you to do the same quickly. And when you go to draw a curtain wall, if you go under wall, it is an architectural system family. And you'll find them at the bottom, and you'll see that you have curtain walls, exterior glazing, and storefront. We're going to talk more about curtain walls and storefronts today. So if I draw a curtain wall here, I'm going to draw one off to the side, right? Not very big, and can't see a lot of detail there. Then I'm going to go and draw a wall. Whoops, I lost my project browser. This is a good thing. Good thing for you to see. I'm going to go over to the user interface and turn my property box back on. You see that? If you get rid of either one of those and that happens, you just go to view, user interface, and that's how you turn that back on. So now I'm going to go and draw another wall, but this time I'm going to draw a storefront. And when I draw that storefront, that's what I get. And when I go to a 3D view, you can see that this is my curtain wall and this is a storefront. And what you're seeing is, Joel, you said storefront was no more than 10 feet. Well, that's still true. In industry, that's all you use it for. But in Revit, you can draw all kinds of things with it. But if we're going to use it to span the front of a tall building, we want to use the curtain wall. You see how the storefront automatically comes populated with these mullions, and we'll talk about how to edit those a little later. Okay, but as you can see, my curtain wall and my storefront are spanning all 7 floors, okay, or five floors in the roof of the building I have here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead, and I wanted you to see the difference between them. Let's talk about it a little as an introductory video. I'll let you go ahead and open your video, save it, and then we'll get to work. Okay.